Hi, how's everybody doing today? Well, I don't have to go into work till later on this afternoon, so I thought I would spend some time with you guys and talk about my new favorite makeup line ever. Skincare, makeup, everything. So, we're just going to do a quick little makeup tutorial on how I like to apply my makeup every day, and a little bit more of a simple way than I did the last time, a little bit less of a dramatic look. So we're going to first start out with our Limelight by Alcone Must Do, and it's oil and it smells like Lush. It's got essential oils in it and it just smells so fresh and so clean. It's not heavy, especially if you've got naturally oily skin. You need to be sure to moisturize because your body is going to overproduce oils and cause your makeup to look cakey. And you do not want that, so you got to make sure you're moisturizing. And I always put it on my lips too, because, and especially since I do hair and I've got color all over my hands, of course, my hands have gotten really dry, so I'll just take the leftover and just rub it through my hands, and it really helps with that too. And then we're going to go in with our primer spray. Just going to spritz that everywhere. We're going to let that dry for a little bit. Just fan it out. Alright, and we're going to use Shinto #1, which I'm almost out. There's a new one on the way. And since I'm almost out, I'm going to take the edges and I'm just going to turn my beauty blender in there. I'm going to have to do it a couple more times since the middle's completely gone. And we're just going to dab that all over our face. And that was only a couple turns, and you can already tell how much of my redness is being covered up. This stuff is crazy. It gives you a completely new face, which sometimes that can be scary because you literally cannot see your true skin underneath this foundation, which I love because I look like a tomato 90% of the time. So we're just going to keep dabbing that in, make sure we don't have any harsh lines or spots that we missed. Of course, go over your eyelids. Got really bad veins under my eyes, and I like to cover those up. Get underneath the eyes. And I like to just drag it down my neck, because you want your foundation to match your neck. So just look at the color difference on my forehead. And I still haven't even gone back for a second round in the foundation. So now I'm going to, when I go to my forehead, took 2 more turns, which there is a little bit of product still left on the Blenderful, which a Blenderful is our own beauty blender, and I love the shape of it. It's got a little flat butt and the pointed edge, and I normally use this side for my foundation and this side for my concealer. So we're just gonna dab that in there all over. Make sure it's even, make sure the foundation is evenly spread out. Alright. So now I'm going to go in with our concealer, and this is concealer #0. It's right here. It's pretty light, and of course I've used the daylights out of it. So I'm going to do a couple turns in that. I got to go around in circles to get the outside. So I'm just going to go right under my eyes. Not too much. A little goes a long way with this stuff. I'm just trying to hide any dark circles and kind of highlight and contour my face, but not dramatically. Just give some brightness to my face. And then we're going to contour with our bronzer, just so it's not too much. It's easy, quick. Alright, now this side. And I just mostly focus the actual product under my eyes, and I'll blend it down. I haven't yet done a live yet. I'm a little nervous about doing a live. I feel like I might get probably better responses doing regular videos, and people can just share them. I'm scared nobody's gonna tune in, and can kind of reach people a little better doing a regular video. You can get a little bit more shares. post it on YouTube. Because I do have a YouTube channel, which I haven't added anything to it in a very, very long time. Alright, so now that we've got our concealer on, I'm just going to take my flat end and just blend it all out. Make sure there's no harsh lines and it's just not, you know, overly white somewhere and overly dark somewhere else. Make sure my super red face isn't showing through. And just tap that all in. And now I'm going to take our translucent powder, which this is what mine came in, a translucent powder. Then I got 2 blushes. So I'm going to take my big fat fluffy brush. It's more of a buffing brush, but I really like it for a translucent powder. And I'm just going to go over, focus where I put the concealer and just dab that on there. And on my lip, under my eyes. And I really like to focus it under my eyes because when I do eyeshadow, I want to leave some of that translucent powder under there so you don't have a bunch of fallout. Normally I would use tape, but I'm not really going for a dramatic look right now. I'm just going for more of a natural, easy, everyday look. And you can just tell how much shine that took off and how much that just packed that concealer and foundation on your skin. And then I'll of course go back with some more later because you can never have too much setting powder. And then on my forehead. And if you get it other places that it's not supposed to be, that's no big deal. We're all going to blend it back out here in a little bit. And obviously I've used my translucent powder enough for a small army. Alright, now we're getting kind of flat, and we do not want our face to look flat. Your face has dimensions. You've got cheekbones. I don't really have cheekbones because, you know, thick girl got problems. And then I don't have a very big nose, but I go ahead and contour my nose anyways because it's never going to hurt anything. So I've got a little angled brush. It's kind of fat, so if you've got something a little bit skinnier, it'll still work just as well. We have this on our ear. We've got this little loop, this little line right here. So you're going to follow this line. I, of course, have sideburns, so you're going to follow this line, and whenever we created our highlight right here, we kind of drew the line for ourselves. So we're going to take that bronzer, and it comes in this little palette. It's got some shimmer in it, but I don't really see the shimmer on my face, especially after I blend it out. So we're just going to draw a line. And then I like to soften it upward. And especially if you've got a round face, you're going to want to go all the way around your perimeter of your face because it's going to make it appear to be smaller than it really is. So I'm just going to soften that up on top, and then I will soften this line up with my big fat beauty blender. So you can already see that shadow in there. So you're just going to take your bronzer and just follow that shadow. And then you're just going to drag it up, soften it. So now I'm going to take it on the sides of my nose, which I've already got highlight there. It's not crazy amount, just subtle, just to give my face some more definition. And I'm going to go right below my jawline, and I of course go a little bit higher because I want my face to appear a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to soften that out. So whenever you take pictures, it's going to look like you have one chin, not double, triple, quadruple. Because if you like to eat as much as I do, then we all are going to rock the double chin. And then underneath my lip, I'll just take it right here. And that'll make your lips have the illusion that they're larger. And then on the forehead, move my hair back. Just going to blend that right there. Blend that to this. Alright, so now we've got some color and some definition back into the face. So now I'm going to go back with my buffing brush and just soften everything out. Just still want it to be a little defined because I want to be able to kind of tell that I've got a jawline. up and down the nose, the forehead. And then there's actually no product on this brush right now. I'm just blending. Right now I'm just blending everything out and just wow. This stuff is amazing. And I'm going to take a little bit more product. Just kind of brush them off here. Just add that back on. And this foundation is really, really buildable. It stays fairly consistent throughout the entire makeup process, so you're not fighting it before it dries, which is really good because especially if you're a beginner, you don't want to be rushed and trying to get your foundation to be perfect. So right now I'm just keep on blending, just add that in. Alright, and we're gonna add some blush because now we just look dark and light, and you just have to add that. I always think of the Napoleon ice cream. You've got your vanilla, your chocolate, and then your strawberry. I know that's just probably just horrible to say, but you know. So right here on the apples of the cheek, I'm just going to swirl it on there and bring it up just a little bit. And this is this blush right here. This one's just not as pigmented. I think the peachy tones in it doesn't do good for my skin tone, especially since I'm fairly pale right now. Alright, so we're just going to blend that. And then I really enjoy a highlighter, and I haven't ordered ours yet. I just ordered all the foundations and another translucent powder because I am going through that like it's my job. So this is my Inglot highlight. It's actually a body shimmer, so I just use it as a highlight because it's lasted me almost 2 years. And I'm just going to drag that on my cheekbones right above my blush right here, so you see all the colors. Then right on your Cupid's bow. I'm just going to bring a little bit up my nose. I don't want to look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And then I'm going to go back with my buffing brush because you can never blend out too much. And I'm just going to dab that in and make sure everything's set on the skin good. Alright. And now I'm going to use our setting spray. I'm not done yet. I just want to set my face right now. Anyways, I'm going to do some eyeshadow and my eyebrows and such. So here is our setting powder. You can never have too much setting powder. Of course not. Alright, so I'm going to go back in with my concealer number 0. And I'm going to just pack that on my lid with my beauty blender. My Blenderful. I don't actually have a beauty blender. I don't even think I've ever used a real one. I always use the Real Techniques one. And my dog ends up finding them, and somehow he has not found this yet. So we're just going to pack that all over the lid. The inner corner. So you can see where that's actually at on the lid. And I'm going to go in with a puffy flat brush with my translucent powder. That's probably why I've run out, because I've been using it for eyeshadow and I've been using it all over my face. And it's not heavy. There's no flashback, so it doesn't, you know, when you take pictures and you're like, oh Lord, why do I look like a ghost? It's because your setting powder has flashback, which most of them actually do. It's really hard to find one that doesn't, because trust me, I've been looking for the fair share of them. So we're just going to pack that on the lid. This is just to set the concealer. This isn't to give it color, not to highlight. Alright. I'm just going to brush off the excess. And the good thing about tape is you don't have to worry about brushing off the excess, but I was feeling a little bit simpler today. So here is the little 6 palette that I got. And we are going to take my oh so favorite brush that I have lost, of course. Oh, it's a big fat fluffy brush. It's my go-to. I'm gonna take this lighter brown right here. It's kind of like creamy colored. Tap that in there, tap off the excess. And I'm gonna go right above my crease, which I don't really have. I mean, you can kind of see where my crease is. So there's my crease. I'm gonna go right above it. And I'm just gonna blend that out. Pretty high. I like my eyeshadow pretty high. I mean, if you do not have to do this, of course. This is just a really good color combo for every day going to work. Go back on this side. And then we're going to go with this brown. It's a little bit darker. And go a little bit lower on the crease. Then blend it up whenever you start running out of product. Do the same to the other side. I'm going to take the light brown and blend it out a little bit more. We're going to take our dark brown, which is so pigmented, so just to be a little bit careful, do like a couple little dabs. Shake off the excess. And I'm just going to go in the outer corner of the eye. Just dabbing it a couple times. A couple more dips. Shake it off. The corners of the eye. And then we're going to go back with that medium brown. And blend that out. There goes my dog, barking at God knows what. Probably nothing. I'm going to take this little bit darker of a pink. See, that one's a little bit more peachier. This one's a little bit more pink, and I'm going to take that one. Tap off the excess. Just soften this part up here. I like a little bit of color up here. I don't want it to be too muted. I really like burnt oranges and warm tones on my eyes. Which, of course, if you've got a different palette, you can do this with black and grays, browns and oranges. This is just what I personally like. And the colors are, you kind of lay them out about the same. Like, so you would do a soft gray, and then you'd go with a little bit darker of a gray, and then black on the corners. And then you could just soften it up with grays, and then do silver on the lid. And this is just like an everyday smoky eye. It's a little bit dark for some people, but of course you do not have to apply that much product. This is just how much I personally like. And I just went back in with some of that darker brown. And then back with the pink to soften. Take my big fat fluffy brush. Just wipe off all the excess. And now I'm going to take a flat brush. It's got some product because I did my makeup already this morning, and trying to record a video, and of course it didn't work because I've just got awesome luck. And this is that same pink that I blended up with, and I'm just gonna pack that on the lid. Like, that was 2 swipes in the pan, and look how pink and pigmented that is. And then I'm gonna go with a white. It's more of like a creamy white. It's not bright white. On the inner corner of my eye. Take my fluffy brush and blend everything back out so everything's soft. Alright, so there's an easy eyeshadow look for every day. And let's do some eyebrows. So I normally use a pretty dark brown, but I've been trying to switch over to using a lighter brown. Which I did say I was going to only use Limelight. Let me show you a sweet little trick. So, in these little palettes, this is Shinto 2, Concealer 1, and then Concealer number 6. This one is Shinto 1, Concealer 0, and then Concealer 5. Which I think the Concealer 5 is a little bit too dark, too light for my eyebrows, especially since I've let my roots grow out. But I'm about to get my hair done next week, or actually tomorrow. So I'll probably switch to using this one later on. And you can just tell how naturally dark my natural eyebrows are. Which they kind of grow kind of funky. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Concealer number 6. We're going to brush the eyebrows up. And then we'll set with our dark brown eyeshadow. So I've just got an eyebrow brush with a spoolie on the end, and we're just going to do a couple little swipes and take off some on the edges, and then just, well, that looks really good. Pull off all that eyelash glue maybe. Alright, so we're going to follow the bottom of the eyebrows, I'm sorry. Which I'm not creating mine to be any bigger because they are big enough on their own. And then if I was going to contour, I would use the same concealer to contour with if I was doing a cream contour. So they've got a double usage, which is awesome. And these concealers, they're wax based. So they are so pigmented and so thick. You might be able to see my cat here in a second. He's behind me, staring at my little ring light, confused. I'm just going to follow my natural lashes, my natural eyebrows. I don't know why I keep wanting to call my eyebrows my eyelashes, but it is what it is. And my mirror is actually behind my light and phone. So sorry if I look up a little bit. We're just going to take our spoolie and brush the product through. And can you tell how much better my eyebrows look? And that's just following my natural eyebrows. Like, you can definitely see where my eyebrows are. So alright, and now we're going to use our brown eyeshadow, which was the dark brown we were using on our eyelids. We're going to take our little spoolie brush. I'm going to do a couple little taps in there. Don't dig, because it'll just ruin your eyeshadow. And this is just setting that concealer in place. So if you rub your eyebrow, it's not going to completely move. This isn't, you know, this is just for, again, our concealers are completely waterproof. So tell your man to take you swimming on your first date. because it's not going anywhere, especially with that setting spray. Alright, so product is brushed through the eyebrows. I look like I've got an eyebrow now. How nice. So going back with our concealer, number 6. Couple little swipes. Brush up on the eyebrows. And I'm also way due over for getting them waxed. And I am going to go to work for a little bit, and then I'm going to go to the gym. So I'm going to add a picture of my makeup when we first get finished, and then I'm going to add a picture of my makeup after I go work out for a little bit, so you guys can see how awesome this stuff is, because I do normally wear my makeup to the gym. That's probably a big no-no, because you get all sweaty and your pores get all opened. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender. It's got some extra concealer on it. Make sure nothing crazy is going on. Then I've got this little teeny brush right here. I got it free in a little, I don't remember what I ordered. So I'm going to take this, since I probably have eyeshadow all over my face, and just going to set under my eyes. Make sure I don't have any dark eyeshadow floating around. I'm going to leave that there for a while too, so we can set that foundation a little bit more. While we do the eyeliner and such. So I know this is a great look. So this is our pen, and it's got a brush. It's not like a felt tip. Here is my NYX felt tip, which I normally like to do my end of my wing with this, but draw my eyeliner on with this. So I definitely like it, but not for everything. If I'm just going just to do a regular liner, then definitely. But I like to go big with the wing, you know. Bigger the better. So I'm just going to follow the top of my lash line. Not going to go too big, because I am going to put lashes on. So there's just on the lid. I have all kinds of eyelash glue just on this side, which is just hilarious. Alright. So there's just top liner. This is NYX Epic Ink Liner. So I'm going to use that for my wing. So I'm just going to, which it is got so much product in it, it literally is like water. It's nuts. Okay, so we're going to draw up There we go. See how wet that is? I always have to warn my clients, I'm like, don't close your eyes, don't open your eyes, because it'll seriously run down your face. So definitely the Limelight eyeliner is so much more manageable for everyday eyeliner, but it just depends on what you're used to. I'll let that dry for a second before I move on to the second eye. Alright, so we're going to draw it from the bottom lash line. Connect it, always connect it, kind of make a little triangle scenario. I like to fill it in. Alright, so they're okay even. I'm going to go back with the Q-tip and clean it up. But we might as well do our mascara while we're on it, because I don't have any Q-tips beside me that are wet. So now I'm just going to take our Limelight mascara, which I do truly, truly love. Oh so dear. Because I really don't wear a lot of mascara just because I am going to put fake eyelashes on, so there's no point like completely coating your eyelashes. Just mine are kind of a light brown color, so just make sure they're super coated. I don't normally curl them either. I'm too scared I'm gonna rip them out. Pretty much rip them out when I take my eyelashes off anyway, so it is what it is. Alright, now I already have these eyelashes on today, so I'm just gonna put these back on. And I did say that these were the Ardell fake mink ones. And I used the Duo Lash or the Ardell Lash Glue. I can't tell any difference in them. Actually, it might. Yeah, this is just the Ardell one, but I normally always use a black one. The only thing that I like to do is go back over with some eyeliner because the glue is kind of shiny. And of course, if you're not going to wear any eyelashes, just fast forward to this part because this does not apply to you. But it's pretty cool to learn how to put on eyelashes because you never know when there's going to be an event that you want to put them on for. And I'll grab my tweezers. And it's not ever perfect on the first time, so we're just going to set those on there and let them get a little bit tacky. You let that glue just dry a teeny tiny bit and it'll stick on your eyelids a little better instead of just shoving it on there when it's so wet. I'm just gonna push them up, make sure that looks good. And they're not very long, they're not very thick, they're just a good everyday lash because I definitely like wearing eyelashes every day. Take my lash glue, squeeze it out just a little bit. And I barely put any on the lashes. Just enough to hold them. And I'll wear these to the gym and they won't move. I won't have any issues with them. and just set them on top of my actual lashes. And you're gluing them to your eyelids, not your eyelashes, because I always get asked, are these going to pull my eyelashes out? And no, they won't. If you're trying to stick them to your actual eyelashes, or if they get stuck to one, you can just use a regular face wash and just wash them right off, and they will come off. Which, if you're like me, you're just going to come home and peel them off. Which is fine, too. Just be careful with trying to not rip your eyelashes out, because you don't want to do that. So now I'm just pushing and then of course my mascara is shockingly dry. So I'm just blending those in. I'm going to go back over with in there a little bit too far over. So that will get on my nerves. And we're going to knock that shine off there. Alright. And if you saw, I did get a little eyeliner or mascara, I'm not really sure what it is, on my eyelid right here. So we're just going to see if it's mascara, because mascara will like peel right off. See, there we go. It'll peel right off with a spoolie. And normally it helps if you go the opposite direction that it got on there, the way it got on there. And I don't know how it got on there, so then we're just going to put some product back on there. Just blend it out. Act like it never even happened. That happens a lot, you know. So now I'm just going to go back and brush this setting powder off. Just blend everything out a couple more times. Alright. So I don't really like the look, personally, on your bottom eyes with a ton of eyeliner. Kind of washes you out. So I'm going to take my eyeshadow and a little brush. This has got white on it, so let me just tap that off. And I'm going to take the medium brown and just dust the bottom lashes, just to give it some color. Okay. Now to get the excess off, I'm going to take that same brush that I used to put setting powder on my face with, and I'm just going to brush that off just to soften that up. Alright. And now I'm going to put some mascara on the bottom lid. Like I said, I don't wear much mascara. Look at me go, getting mascara on my nose. And I could show you that trick again, since I just got it on my nose and I'm nice and messy. Just gonna blend those lashes in. Let that dry a little bit on your nose, because this happens all the time to everyone. If it doesn't happen to you, you're a god. I don't know what you do in your life to never deserve to hit your nose with your mascara. So you're just gonna take your spoolie brush and just scrape it on off. It took a little foundation off. So I'm just going to take my beauty blender. And I don't know what I did over here. My foundation is just not happening on that side. Ooh, my eyebrows need waxing, girl. Alright. So now I'm just going to set it again so it doesn't move. Alright. Alright, so now we've got eyes, eyebrows, eyelashes, which they're not too extremely crazy. They're just a good everyday lash. And we're going to take our setting powder with our setting spray. It's called Oil Strike. So with our foundation being wax-based, everything needs to kind of coincide with it. Like, so a silicone-based primer is not going to be good because they're not going to mix well. They're going to fight each other and your foundation is going to try to peel off. It's good to use a water-based primer, definitely. Moisturizers, because of course everybody's either dry or extremely oily at this point in the year. So I highly recommend I mean, if I could build the perfect kit, it would be our primer spray, our must do, which is the moisturizer, the foundation, the concealer. I would do the foundation and 2 concealers, so you could contour and fill your eyebrows with them. And you can use the light concealer as a eyeshadow primer like I have been using. I haven't used any eyeshadow primer, and I've been so much more impressed with the way my eyeshadow looks and stays throughout the day. It doesn't crease at all. Especially, you know, you'll get creases throughout your actual crease, and it doesn't do that. So after the foundation and concealer, I would definitely recommend the setting powder, the bronzer, and the blush, and then the oil strike spray, which is this right here. Here is the primer, here is the finishing spray. This one's gray and this one's black. This is the must do, which is the oil moisturizer. It's like a serum. And these come in 2 packs, so you could, of course, do a translucent powder and a blush. I'm not sure if you can add a bronzer and save you a little bit of money, but this trio of translucent powder, blush, and bronzer would just be amazing. I'll have to check on there and see if that's even an option, because that would be phenomenal. And then here is just the bronzer. See all that shimmer, and we only have 1 color bronzer, which really goes good with all skin tones. I haven't found anybody's skin tone that it doesn't look good with, because it's not very orange, it's not too brown, it's not too bronzy. And then here is the foundation and the 2 concealers, which is the Shinto 2 concealer number 1, concealer number 6, which this is way too dark for me right now. I do use it, mix it in a little bit if I've laid in the tanning bed, because I've been trying to lay in the tanning bed to get ready for our little trip. But this is the color that I'm using, and this is Shinto, which Shinto is more of a yellow based undertone. And then we've got olive, which is pink. This is the concealer 1 and then concealer 5, which I only use this one to contour, so I haven't really got to play with it very much because I haven't had any reason to put a full face on. And let me think. This is our mascara, little tube of mascara. Here is our wand, and it's a good every usage wand. It's not too fat, it's not too skinny that you can't get in there. And then here is our eyeliner, and I've got color all over my hands. I'm very sorry. There is the brush tip. So that is pretty much my all-time favorites. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Message me on Facebook, or message me on, or text me or anything. I'm going to put my cell phone number on this post and everything. So if you need anything, actually I'm going to go ahead and put some lipstick on and spray my face, so you can kind of get the full effect. And using the setting spray really helps. Of course, it's a little wet right now, but it does not let it move. You know how sometimes foundation will have that tacky feeling on top of it? This has no tacky feeling. It's just phenomenal. Are we feeling a ruby red? Or I always go with a mauve of some sort. I don't ever really step out of my box that much when it comes to lips. So I've got some foundation on my lips, which will actually help your lipstick stay a little better. And this is just the NYX lipstick. I do not have any Enduring Lip Color, which is our matte lipstick. And it's pretty similar to ColourPop's matte lip, liquid lip, because it has that matte finish, but it's not chalky. It stays all day long, but I tend to get like wrinkles in my ColourPop, and a girl that works at my shop, she sells it as well, but she's let me use a couple of hers, and I don't, you know how like you'll get a little smudgies or you'll get it on your teeth. I think ours just dry a little better than ColourPop's do, which I love ColourPop. I've got 40 of them. I love them so much. If I had to choose, I would choose ours, but the variety of colors, ColourPop has a little bit more, so that's where I'm on the fence on that. So I definitely will carry both. and advertise both. I mean, just because I'm selling Limelight does not mean that I've completely broken up with all my other products. I mean, I use Sigma brushes that I love oh so dear. I'm definitely going to try our brushes. I use Morphe palettes because they give me life. Like, they're so pretty. They're not as pigmented as our eyeshadows are, but there's just the variety of colors is ridiculous with Morphe. And I love NYX. I love all of their products. I mean, that's what lipstick I'm using. I mean, I can't pick one single product, but this foundation concealer is just phenomenal. Their translucent powder, I have not found a translucent powder this good. And I've got samples all day long, so if you guys are interested in trying this stuff, take my word for it and just get in contact with me and I can get you some samples and you would be so, so impressed. And I also can get a hold of some samples for our skincare line, and I'd like to give out some of our face wash and the Must Do. Those are my all two-time favorites. And we've got a bamboo scrub that is just smells so, so good. So I'll have to get some samples for that. And if you guys are interested, just get in contact with me. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and being patient and listening to me ramble on about how awesome this product is. I'm going to add a picture of what I look like after the gym, which my hair will be in a bun. It won't be cute like this, so don't judge my hair. But you'll just have to see how amazing this makeup stays after sweating for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So thank you guys so much and have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys are interested in trying some Limelight for me. Thank you.